We're with Lucas from Awakened Realms, and we're going to take a look at the very beautiful game Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, which was a huge success on Kickstarter, and you actually have one here that we can basically unbox and look inside. It's of a kind of a crisp new box.
Yep.
So, would you do the honors and open it up for us?
Well,
Now we realize we have to get rid of this.
yes. First of all, we need to get rid of this. I've done this today already.
Several times, I guess. Okay,
Yep.
I got. Oh, you're faster. So, I realized the box is pretty heavy already.
Just a little bit. Only almost 1,000 of cards, so
1,000 cards. Okay,
almost. Like it's
almost.
closer to 750.
750. That's still a lot of cards. Okay,
Just a
so
little bit.
we're gonna take a look inside.
Okay, the first opening is almost the hardest, always.
There she goes.
Oh, and we're there.
Okay. First thing it says is start here.
Yeah. This is actually open and play guide. So it's designed for people who has the first contact with the game. So it helps you to jump into the game and start playing right away. But well, for the sake of this meeting, we will ignore this.
Okay, and we go straight to the rule book.
Yep.
That is actually pretty thin.
Yes, the game itself isn't that much complicated, but what is not thin here is our exploration journal.
So this is where the story is for the game. So
Yep. So it covers storyline for all possible locations that you can discover in the game, and it also has books of secrets, which are the special verses of the story that they need to get some special.
oh, it looks like a letter, an inward letter. So this is kind of what the players get, and this is kind of the call to adventure.
Yes. Something like this. So when you pick up the character, you get this letter, and it introduces you to the game world.
Okay.
So you have blink of idea what's going on.
Okay. So for each character, there's one of these letters,
Yep.
basically. Okay.
One for each of the playable characters, and obviously everyone is different. So you can learn about your character as well from them. This is a map template, so it gives you the basic idea what the Avalon Island looks like.
And then there's a save sheet.
It's a save sheet. It's used to save the game, obviously, but most importantly, it has a page to mark the statuses, which have very big gameplay importance.
That's a lot of statuses.
Yep.
Allies of Avalon, Burning Mystery, 1 to 8. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways the story can go, and a
Yes.
lot of different
Yes.
kind of marks you have to check. Wow.
Yes, and there are a few possible endings of the game as well.
And I also see that you can remove locations, so there's
Yeah.
places you can no longer visit.
It works like some locations may evolve throughout the game, and this is for marking this basically. So
Okay.
you do something in a location, then it changes.
Okay. And you
So-
mark here that what location A turns into location A
Yep.
/2. Okay, I get it.
So what we have next, this is a bonus character.
Okay.
It may be played on any of the character traits, and these are the character traits. So this is basically the the heart of management of your character. So it covers survival tracks like health, the terror level, and the energy you can spend. These are slots for the attribute points, and these are slots for the character's resources. Each character also has a unique ability and some kind of negative trait that will make some part of the game more difficult than for the other characters.
Okay. So, for instance, she's traumatized, so she can't resist a certain kind of influence not as good as other players would be, other characters would.
Basically, it means that she cannot reduce terror outside of special places.
Okay. And now we get to the meat of the game, the cards, the many cards. Okay.
It's not as easy as it looks like. So basically, these are the location cards.
Okay, that's a lot.
The map is built out of them.
Cards, okay.
Also, there are a few help cards.
I get it. So the map template shows you basically.
Yes, the map template shows you
the relations.
How the cards are.
Can be set up.
Yep, how the cards are set up. Like when you are in some part of the map, for example, at the beginning of the game, and there is some storyline that tells you to go to some particular location, you can have the general idea. Let's take a look here.
Miniatures.
This is the Guardian Man here, and these are statues responsible for keeping locations safe from the influence of weirdness, which is a mysterious power that covers the whole island. And one of players' tasks, like main tasks in the game, is to find out what the weirdness is and why it has covered the whole island.
Okay, so we're trying to prevent the fall of Avalon of the island in the game.
We can call it this way.
So we have miniatures for the menhirs.
Yep.
And we also have for the characters. And I just to comment, I really like that you already kind of shaded them, so they look really beautiful this way.
Yep, this is the sun drop technique.
Very nice. And so this is the characters we play, and these are the guys that we have to activate to save the island, or try to save it at least.
Yep. You can even tell that these are the guys you need to activate in order to stay alive, because the game works a lot about going around and activate menhirs in order to be able to explore new parts of the island, and also they allow you to stay safe from the weirdness.
Okay. So, and the main part of the game consists of these cards, and so everything the game does works with the cards basically. So every encounter.
Yes. Each battle mechanic work with cards. There are two types of battles. One is the combat and the other one is diplomacy. Okay. So each character may develop itself in order to be better diplomat or a better fighter. As well as each character has their own specific deck for the diplomacy and for combat. Okay.
And one thing I wanted to comment on, the game already comes with bags to keep everything organized.
Yep.
I really like that.
Well, we are trying our best to get the gaming experience as convenient as possible, so...
Yeah. Okay, so the rest that is in here is like we're going to see how these work in a moment, what they're for.
They are for marking various things, like combat pool, number of your resources, and attributes, like there are universal quantity markers.
Okay, then, and the last thing we have are two dice.
Yes. So these are normal die, K6, which is used mostly in the exploration when you're testing some kind of ability of your character.
Okay.
For example, when you want to climb some cliff, and then you roll the die, and then you add up one of your attributes. In this case, it will be probably practicality. And this one is for the movement of guardians, which are basically the encounters that are traveling on the map.
Okay, so they are randomized, so you never know where they're going.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay, and then you set up something for us to show us how the game works, so we don't have to spend a lot of time getting the cards out of here.
Yeah, that takes lots of time. Luckily, we have another copy here, which is already unboxed. So, this is the character trait, and each character is described by 6 attributes: the aggression, courage, practicality, empathy, caution, and spirituality. And one of the usage of these cubes is marking these attributes. The other one is marking various resources that your character may have, as well as experience and magic.
So, what I realized just now is that there's actually kind of a survival component, so you could actually run out of food and things like that.
Yeah, so it's very important to stay not hungry.
Stay healthy and fat. And
Yeah,
Okay.
in order to survive in this harsh world. One of the interesting things here is this health marker. It has this shape because your health level may actually interfere with levels of your energy and your terror and have some additional gameplay effects. I won't go too much into the detail of this, but these markers just go up and down and they show how healthy your character is, how much energy you can spend during the day, and how traumatized, terrorized.
And health caps them all, so no matter what happens here, health puts a stop to it if it goes too low.
Not at all. That works like this with the energy, because you can never have energy beyond this cap, but you can have actually the terror. But in this case, you are going to panic in encounters.
Ah, okay, so if it's above health, you're going to panic.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So,
It's not good for you.
yeah, I guess so. So now, what happens if I have an encounter? So if I'm moving around Avalon, trying to find my way and help the island.
Before I answer that question, I want to show just one more thing.
Okay.
So these trays are made up of 2 parts. We can take this out. Here are some additional information, and when another campaigns will come with another characters, they will use the same trace,
Okay.
just other character tile.
Okay.
So when you get an encounter, you draw card from one of the encounter decks, and this is the encounter, and you need to use the character's combat deck in order to perform a fight. So we are gonna show a few example cards, and the whole fight is about making a sequence of cards.
Okay.
And we are doing it by connecting the keys. So basically these are the keys, and they are also bound to attributes. So in order to use a particular key, your character needs to have an attribute that is described by this key.
So in this case, that's the symbol for aggression. So
Yes.
I need to use one of my aggression cubes to make this key work.
Yes.
Okay.
And this key just gives you a cube to your combat pool. This is the other key. It just draws you a card. This does nothing, obviously. And as the fight goes, you will be adding cards to the sequence. These are some additional effects that occur during the game, during the fight. And it goes like this. So you play some kind of cards as long as you can play. And then there is a chance for the opponent to respond. and this is the attack table.
Okay.
And this table works on the combat pool. So depending on how much damage you did to your opponent, it will respond in different way. Some of them may even run away, and then, well, lots of things may happen.
Actually, there's kind of a small story unfolding here. So you grapple, then you reposition, and then you deal the final blow, hopefully.
Yeah, that's the idea behind all this thing.
Okay. And you have...
When you are fighting as more than one character, you are building one sequence together.
Together, okay. So you can help each other. Okay. And one last thing, the artwork is very, very beautiful. And how many different kind of artworks do you have? Is there kind of any doublets, or is any card just individual?
You know what? I'm not sure if anyone in the world knows how many arts exactly is, besides that there are a lot of them.
A lot.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Lucas.
We are working very hard on each aspect of the game. And also we made this design specifically for the arts to be visible, so...
Oh yeah. And yeah, that works. It kind of, you can see it through all the aspects of the card. And what we already saw on the sheet where you can save the game is how many different ways it can go and how much there is to cross off. So how long do you actually play on a playthrough of Tainted Grail?
Like the single playthrough?
Yeah.
No problem, it may go beyond 50 hours.
50 hours?
Playthrough. Well, actually it depends on how much you will delve into the storyline and all the side things that you can do. Because you can either just go and explore the main storyline, but as well you can do lots of other things around it. So it depends, but it won't be short, I can assure you that.
And so each playthrough can be very different from the other one?
Yes.
Okay. And so one very last thing, after seeing Tainted Grail, congratulations to another very successful Kickstarter for Etherfields.
Oh, we love Etherfields.
Another very mysterious and very, very kind of dark fairy tale-ish game.
Yes, we call it the Dream Crawler.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a very nice name. And
I made it up. No, I'm joking.
I was going to say about congratulations again for creating the name, but I missed it. Is there a way that I can late pledge?
Yes, actually we are gonna open the late pledge manager in about 2 or 3 weeks, and it's gonna stay open for some time. So if anyone missed it, it's possible to get it.
Okay. So I'm going to keep my eyes open. Thank you so much for taking the time and showing us Tainted Grail, Fall of Evan and Lucas, and for this trip through ancient mythological history of Avalon. Yeah, and have a great show.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.